I'm Richard O. Smith, a author and scriptwriter, and I had a debilitating fear of heights which lasted for nearly 40 years, which thankfully I'm now an acrophobia recovery, which is the technical word, people, for a fear of heights. I first realised I was scared of heights when actually I realised I'm pretty terrified of stairs, and this I encountered aged 8 on a school trip to Tattershall Castle. And aged 8 there was nothing that I liked more than castles, and when all the other children followed up the steps to get to the top of the turret, I realised that my feet were frozen with fear. And later I found out there's a term for this. It's called bathphobia, which is actually a fear of stairs. My worst experience of suffering height anxiety, and specifically a fear of stairs, probably, there's many to choose from, but I'll select the worst experience being when I was a teenager. I was 15, desperate for 16, and the girl that I really liked, who lived in our isolated hamlet, travelled on the same school bus as I did, but she always constantly went upstairs to the top deck of the bus, and I knew that was a place that I could never visit, therefore introduced myself. When I decided to get help, my overdue intervention was woefully late and didn't actually happen to my 40s. The reason is that people with phobias, acrophobia but most other phobias, adopt something called their safety strategies, as psychologists term it. And this is a way of ensuring you never have to engage in situations where your phobia will be active. And of course, if you never test your phobia, you never actually realise that, hey, it's irrational. What did my family and friends think of having acrophobia? I guess people with phobias tend to find their condition quite shameful. And if you're shameful of something, you don't tend to broadcast it, so you try and keep it hidden. And they have a thing that psychologists term negative reinforcement, which again is a situation where you avoid doing anything at all that's going to risk people realising you have this phobia. I'm pleased to say that now I have conquered my fear, albeit woefully late in life, and I managed to do that by seeking some help. I discussed my situation with some Oxford University phobia experts and then undertook CPD, cognitive behavioural therapy. And most psychologists and therapists install a system called graded exposure, which gradually reboots and re-educates my brain to process threat levels more accurately. Have I got any advice for other people who have similar phobias? Yes. Admit that you have them. Stop doing things in your behaviour so you modify your day so that you avoid dealing with the thing that you're frightened of, and just ask for help, because really my acrophobia was conquered alarmingly quickly and easy, and I thought, wow, why did I suffer that for so long when help was out there?